guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla. Before I even start this video, I'm going to apologize for sounding a little stuffy today. I am getting over a cold and I still wanted to get a video out for you guys. I know I've been slacking on videos lately, but I'm trying, so please pardon my stuffy nose. Okay. So we are going to be embroidering on this fabric basket from Walmart. It's a pretty decent sized basket. You can fit quite a bit in here. Now I actually found this in the craft aisle. I searched all over Walmart looking for a fabric basket that wasn't like the fabric cube storage baskets. So I was really happy when I found this. It is pretty thick and I actually got 2 of these because I am making baby shower gifts for a friend of mine. She is having her second boy. So I already did one for the baby. I can't show you that one because she hasn't announced the name yet and I'm not about to announce it to all of you too. So we're going to be doing one for the big brother today. I wanted to get that one done just to see if it even can be done. And honestly, it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I've got these like amazing multi-needle machines behind me, right? You guys, I could not get this to work. I thought maybe just using a smaller mighty hoop with clamps was going to work. That didn't work. When I tried tracing it with a mighty hoop, it would just pop out. And I tried fast frames and none of them were big enough for the brother's name. So yet again, my PE800 comes in handy. You guys, every couple months I consider selling it because I'm like, oh, I never use it except for once in a while. Do I even really need it? And then nights like last night happened and I busted out and it's able to do it in 15 minutes. So we're using the handy dandy PE800 today. As you can see, I already have the name where I want it. And this was really simple. In Brilliance, all I did was type out the text. This is Georgia, and I believe I used a 1-inch font. Maybe for his name I used a 1.5 inch. I don't remember. But that's all I did. I saved it to my USB, saved it as a PES file, not a DST because Brother PE800 takes PES. So I have it already on my USB, ready to go. I'm not going to do a whole Embroidery tutorial. It's very simple. Type the name, save it, upload it to the machine. So for this project, you are going to need your Brother PE800. You are going to need whatever thread color you want, whatever you want to do the name in or design, whatever. I'm just doing the name in white on the front. You're going to need your basket. Oh, I forgot to say this too. Along in the craft aisle, they also had another cute like white basket and it had cute little like pom-pom tassels on it. So if you want to do a basket for a girl and do her name like underneath the pom-pom tassels, that'd be cute too. You're going to need obviously your 5x7 hoop that comes with the machine. You're going to need a tearaway stabilizer along with basting adhesive because we are really going to adhere this puppy down as we float it on the hoop. So you are going to need that. I used water-soluble stabilizer when I did the other basket last night and I think it really helped. You know, this isn't really textured, but it is really thick and kind of, I don't know, like foamy, I guess. So I used it just for good measure, just to be safe. I need a ruler for this because I lost the thing that comes with the PE800 to mark where center is. So I use a ruler to find my center point once I hoop my stabilizer. Okay, so I think that's everything that we need for this. So yeah, so let's go ahead and embroider this basket. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is get my stabilizer. And we're going to hoop just the stabilizer. Now you will notice the top of my hoop is extremely dirty because I float a lot of different things on here and use a lot of basting adhesive. So there's a lot of Mickey and stuff stuck to it. Okay, now what I'm going to do using my ruler is I'm going to mark my horizontal line and my vertical line so that I can find my center point, okay? Now, like I said, my hoop is really dirty, so I'm not sure if you're even going to be able to see this on camera. But I just line my ruler up with the notches that are on my hoop. And line, and then go this way. There we go. So now I have a center point. See? So now you guys have heard me talk a lot about these printouts. They have crosshairs for you to know where the center of your design is. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to match up this center point with this center point, okay? But before I do that, we have to turn our basket inside out. I know, that sounds crazy, but that's how we gotta do it. So to properly do this on the PE800, we have to turn this inside out so that it can float on the hoop like this, okay? So I also have this pinned in place instead of just the tape so that it doesn't move where I have it. Now, like I said, these are pretty thick, so you kind of just have to work it as you go. And I'm trying to be careful to not move where I have the name. Okay. Just like that. And now you can see our name is on the inside, okay? So now paying attention to our hoop, we had to pay attention to where the brackets are, okay? So the outside or like the bottom part of your bag faces the brackets, okay? Because when it goes onto the machine, you don't want the inside of the basket to be in the throat of the machine. This isn't gonna work. You want this to be on the outside because this is basically going to go over the top of your machine and embroider like this. So the head of your machine is gonna be inside your basket. So we have to really pay attention to how we hoop it, okay? So this is going to go on the machine like this, and then the head's gonna go inside. So I'm gonna put my spray close, and what I'm going to do, now this gets a little tricky, this is a lot easier with things like Minky that you can lift up and see where you are. I'm going to really just eyeball where the center point is. And line it up as best I can. Now you can lift it up and look at the sides. Okay, I didn't want to get up and grab my camera, so I'm filming this part with my phone, so hopefully the quality is okay. But I have it where I want it. You can see my crosshairs right here, this vertical line. If I just slightly lift this up, you can see that it is lined up right there. And then if I move the side a little bit, you can see that that line is lined up with this line right here. And then if I look at this line right here, you can see it is lined up with that line right there. So I'm really happy with how I have this placed. So now that I'm happy with where it's placed, I'm holding my fingers on the inside and lifting up just this part, and I'm going to spray it really good, and then go back down exactly where I was and press. And then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to lift this part up just slightly and spray. This is why my hoop looks the way it does, because I get spray everywhere. Okay, and then just really press that down. If you used pins like I did to keep your name in, make sure you don't nick yourself. So now we're gonna put it on the machine, okay? So I'm gonna turn my machine towards me. Now, this part gets a little tricky, I found last night, because the lip on this basket is thicker and the presser foot only goes up so high. So this part we kind of have to finagle around and kind of really wiggle it in very carefully, not to bend your presser foot, but I'll show you what I mean. So we just have to be very, very careful. I found that it helps to push down before you put it on to just kind of give it a little flat area to go through. Okay, so we're gonna lift it up and we're going to just gently put it under. Okay, sorry that's a little darker. I moved you guys so hopefully you can see a little bit better. But do you see how it doesn't want to go under the presser foot? Even if I lift it up a little bit, it's kind of just gets stuck. That actually went on a lot easier than last night. But yeah, you just kind of wiggle it a little bit and then it is able to go through. And then we're going to clip our hoop in place. Like that. Whoops, and that moved my paper. Awesome. So I'll just straighten that out. I didn't see that move my paper. So I think we're still okay though. We'll be close enough. We'll run with it, okay? Okay. So now you can see what I mean by the top of the machine goes inside the basket, and this is how we have it floated on. Oh, now we are going to get our design off of the USB. We're going to hit this icon right here in the bottom right, and this is going to bring up everything saved to the USB. So we are going to hit Knox because that's what name we are embroidering. Now this is already set correctly to how it is in the hoop. This is exactly how I want it to lay. I don't want it like that because then it would be upside down on the basket. So pay attention to which direction your, whoops, I didn't mean to change that color. So make sure you pay attention to which direction your text is facing, okay? So now I need to center my name on the needle. So hopefully you can see that, but the name is not centered on the needle. You can see my crosshairs are a little bit to the right of the needle, so I need to center that up. So to do that, I'm going to use these arrows to move it where I need it to go and center it. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that, but you can use the little rotary thing on the side of your machine to bring the needle down, and I have it hitting pretty dead on center of my design. So I'm really happy with where I have this placed. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit embroidery, and that's going to set it exactly where I have it. We can see this is going to take 12 minutes to stitch out. So now I'm going to remove my design. I'm going to carefully get my pins out over here. Remove my design, and now I'm going to place my water-soluble stabilizer. So I'm just going to carefully slide it underneath my presser foot and lay it down like that. Now this water-soluble stabilizer that I got, this isn't what I normally get off of Amazon. This is actually something I got at a local fabric store. It's way more expensive than what I wanted to pay. And I noticed that it curls a lot, so I'm really gonna have to hold this on my basket. Last night I tried taping it and it didn't stay. It didn't stick to the basket. So I'm just gonna hold it because what can happen is it can get caught and bunched up under here, and then you have a whole mess and it ruins your whole thing, and it's fun. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that and keep it out of the way. But other than that, we are going to start. I am going to really babysit this thing. I'm not going to leave it at all. Sometimes I will help it just by moving the basket just a little bit to help keep it flat. But yeah, I'm really just going to sit here and watch it and make sure it goes smoothly. So I'm going to lower my presser foot in the back, and you can see my arrow change to green, and now we are ready to embroider. Okay, and now it is all done. So we are going to carefully take it out. I'm gonna unclip our hoop first. There we go. Lift up our presser foot and carefully pull it out. Like that. And now I'm simply just going to rip this off. Like that. Okay, so this is what the stabilizer side of the basket looks like. Now this is pretty stuck on there because we sprayed it a lot. So I will clean that up later. But now we are going to turn our basket right side out. Just like that. And I'm going to take my clippers and get all of these jump stitches. Okay, now we're just going to rip the water soluble stabilizer out. Okay, so cut all the jump stitches and took the water soluble stabilizer off. Now let me show you some of the registration issues that we had. I had this on the basket last night. I'll show you a picture right here of what I mean. So you can see right here what I mean. You can see the under stitches did not go under, and that is because we had registration issues once it got to the end of the name. You can see we don't have that on the K or the N, but we do on the O and the X. Now, like I said, I had this last night. If this was on something other than a really thick tote basket that's never going to be washed, then I might be a little bit more concerned about just trimming them. But since this is a basket, and let's be honest, how many of us wash thick, baskets like this? Probably never. So I'm simply just going to take my little clippers right here and I'm just going to clip these out, and being very careful not to get the satin stitch. I'm simply just gonna clip it, and then I'll go through and I will take it all out. It's very easy once you get a good chunk to just be able to pull it through. But yeah, I'm just going to go through and clip those out. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, because I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's a little like frays from where we cut. So I'm simply just going to take a lighter and it's just going to pull some of those frays back in, and we'll be good to go. Like that. So that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you do this project. It, like I said, can be a little tedious, a little difficult getting it on there, but the PE800 handles it like a champ, and I don't know, I think it turned out great. So let me know what you think down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.